Let me guess. You've watched a few fire videos, maybe ran a calculator once or twice, and you're sitting there thinking, okay, so if I just save a ton of money, invest in index funds, and live cheaply for a while, I can retire early, right? But then real life shows up. Rent goes up. Groceries are insane. Your job is exhausting, and suddenly, fire starts feeling either unrealistic, extreme, or like something only tech workers making $300,000 a year can do. And you're left thinking, am I missing something? Or is fire just kind of fake? If that thought has ever crossed your mind, yeah, that's literally most people. My name is John, and I spend way too much time thinking about money, investing, and early retirement. If you're someone who is trying to get ahead financially but feels confused, overwhelmed, or slightly skeptical about fire, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because today, I want to explain what the fire method actually is, and why most people explain it completely wrong. And honestly, it's not your fault if fire hasn't clicked yet. Here's the thing. Most fire explanations start with the end. They say things like, retire at 35, quit your job forever, live off investments, never work again. And that framing alone scares off about 90% of normal people. Because most Americans don't hate work. They hate feeling trapped. They hate needing a paycheck no matter what, being one emergency away from disaster, having zero leverage at work. But fire isn't about never working again. Here's what most people don't realize. Fire is not about retirement. It's about control. Control over your time. Control over your choices. Control over how much your job controls your life. And when you misunderstand that, everything else about fire feels wrong. Let's ground this for a second. FIRE stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early. But the financial independence part is the entire game. Retire early is optional. Financial independence simply means your investments can cover your basic living expenses without needing a job. That's it. No Lamborghinis. No beach fantasy required. The simple math, if your annual expenses are $50,000 and your investments can safely generate $50,000 per year, you're financially independent. Whether you keep working, work part-time, or quit entirely, that's your choice. Now, you might be thinking, okay, John, but every fire video I see involves people making insane money. Yeah, because content algorithms reward extremes, not reality. But according to the U.S. Census Bureau, median household income in the U.S. is about $75,000. The majority of fire-capable people earn between $50,000 to $100,000, not $300,000. What separates fire achievers isn't income. It's expense awareness plus consistency over time. And this is where it gets really interesting. FIRE comes down to one equation. Savings rate determines time to financial independence. Not stock picking, not crypto, not side hustle obsession. Your savings rate is the engine. Let's put numbers on this. If you save 10% FIRE in approximately 50 years, 25% FIRE in approximately 32 years, 50% FIRE in approximately 17 years, 70% FIRE in approximately 8 to 10 years. This math comes from studies popularized by researchers like Mr. Money Mustache and confirmed by long-term market return modeling. You don't need a perfect portfolio. You need a gap between what you earn and what you spend. Here's where most people go wrong. They hear save more and think, I have to suffer. But FIRE isn't about suffering. It's about intentionally cutting things that don't improve your life, so you can buy freedom faster. Psychologists call this hedonic adaptation. We adapt quickly to bigger homes, New cars. Lifestyle upgrades, but freedom? Freedom compounds emotionally. The first $1,000 saved feels small. The first month of expenses covered feels powerful. The first year of expenses covered changes how you think forever. Here's what most people don't realize. FIRE progress is nonlinear. The first 5 years feel brutal. Low balances, little visible progress, constant temptation to quit, then compounding kicks in. Example, year 1, $10,000 invested leads to boring. Year 10, $150,000 leads to still feels slow. Year 20, $600,000 leads to things accelerate. Year 25, $1 million leads to snowball effect. This is why people quit early. They confuse slow beginnings with failure. You've probably heard of the 4% rule. Here's the simplified version. If you withdraw 4% of your portfolio annually, historically, your money lasts 30+ years. So, $1 million is $40,000 per year. $1,250,000 is $50,000 per year. But here's what most people don't realize. 4% is a guideline, not a promise. It assumes historical U.S. market returns. Diversification, flexibility FIRE isn't about blindly withdrawing. It's about options, spending less in bad years, working a little if needed. Adjusting withdrawals. This flexibility massively increases success rates. Why FIRE is easier than people think and harder than it looks. Look. FIRE is easy mathematically, hard psychologically. The math. Earn, spend less, invest the difference. Repeat. The psychology. Delayed gratification, social pressure, comparison, fear of missing out. Most FIRE failures aren't financial. They're emotional. People quit because friends upgrade lifestyles. Social media distorts reality. Progress feels invisible. This is why mindset matters as much as spreadsheets. Common objection. But I want to enjoy life now. Now you might be thinking, John, I don't want to wait 20 years to enjoy life. Good. Neither should you. Here's what most people don't realize. FIRE works best when you design a life you don't need to escape from. Not deprivation, not misery, not monk mode forever, but intentional spending. Spend heavily on things that truly improve your happiness. Cut ruthlessly things that don't. That's not extreme. That's clarity. What FIRE looks like in the real world. Most people don't go from 9 to 5 to beach forever. They go through stages: security, emergency fund, stability, flexibility, FU money, leverage at work choice, part-time, passion projects, independence, full FIRE. And many stop happily at stage 2 or 3. That still counts. Actionable steps you can take this week. Let's make this practical. Step 1. Calculate your real annual expenses. Not guesses. Real numbers. Step 2. Calculate your FIRE number. Expenses times 25 equals rough target. Step 3. Find your savings rate. This tells you everything. Step 4. Focus on one lever. Reduce one major expense or increase income by $500 per month. Not everything at once. Look, the FIRE method isn't about retiring early. It's about buying your freedom $1 at a time. And the reason most people explain it wrong is because they focus on the fantasy, not the mechanism. If you understand the mechanism, you control the outcome. If this video helped clarify FIRE in a way that finally makes sense, hit the thumbs up. It helps this reach people who are just as confused as you probably were. And if you want realistic, honest financial education without hype or extremes, make sure you're subscribed. Because money isn't about being rich, it's about not being trapped. I'll see you in the next one. This video is for educational and informational purposes only. I'm not a financial advisor, and this isn't financial advice. Always do your own research and consider speaking with a qualified professional before making financial decisions.